salvation is more than servanthood, it is sonship. Do you really believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and He gave you a free gift that you cannot do anything to deserve? Not possible. A thing that really struck me, and I think you'll be just about as much kind of marvel about this as I did. I wonder what would have happened had the father not been home and the older son greeted this prodigal. Would he have received the same love, acceptance, and forgiveness? Or would he have been rebuffed and turned away, never to experience his father's fellowship again? When you consider that thought, it's really kind of a terrifying thing. Because in reality, we in this church are the older brother. And maybe not quite as bad as is listed here, but we do have this tendency to kind of get this holier-than-thou mentality, that somehow we're better than others, that somehow God loves us more than others. And that's a blatant lie. That's not scriptural. Churches have personalities and reputations. You know that. If you've been to different churches, you could tell me, well, that was a loving church, or that was a critical church, or that was a negative thing, and they found fault, and they did all kinds of things that weren't appropriate. And so you get these classifications. And being the ministerial secretary of the Chesapeake Conference and the Columbia Union, I would have to go around every week to a different church to kind of see what was going on, to encourage the pastors, to do what I can to help them grow. And I can tell you, there were several really interesting conversations that came when my wife and I left. We would kind of try to evaluate the church by how we felt they treated us. Churches have all kinds of different personalities and types. But in this situation, let's not get ahead of myself here. The father understands that there's his older son who doesn't understand his job description. All of the objections that he brings up, the father goes out and completely unravels. He shows his son, his older son, that what he is so upset about and what he really thinks justifies his behavior is not something that can really hold water. Does the older brother ever realize this? Does he ever see his mean and ungrateful spirit? Does he ever come through and realize that even though his brother had made bad mistakes, that he was still his younger brother? Did the older son ever tell his father he was sorry for his attitude and the way he felt? Concerning this, Christ is silent. He's silent for a couple of good reasons. One is because the church of his day needed to come to terms with this whole issue. It was like the older brother. It was not willing to accept those who were in trouble, the lowlifes, they called them, or the sinners. In our day and age, we have similar issues to deal with. I think that God leaves it blank because He wants you and me to finish the story. How are we going to finish this story? Is it going to be that we finally see that maybe we could be a little bit kinder, a little bit more attentive to those who come to worship with us? What is it that we can do?
Hi, I'm Dave Ferguson. I'm the pastor of the Collegedale Church here on the campus of Southern Adventist University. You know, it seems to me this world is a mess, more than ever. And in the midst of it, the questions that are boiling up, we wonder, does Jesus have anything relevant to say about the problem in my life, the difficulty you're struggling with? I think He does. And I'd like to welcome you to subscribe to this YouTube channel as we explore the relevance of Jesus Christ in the everyday life of you and me. So subscribe. Click the button.